resignation that has rocked Israeli politics, Avigdor Liberman leaving his post as defense minister. I want to start with showing you something that another minister in the government said today. Ksenia Svetlova, Minister for Regional Cooperation, made quite an uproar. He said that Hamas's response was minor. There is a difference between Tel Aviv and other communities, and because of the uproar, later on, about a few hours later, he said, I've never made a distinction between the lives of residents in the border area and the lives of the residents of Tel Aviv. And if this is what my comments were taken to mean, I regret that. I'll start with you, Ksenia. What do you make of these comments and the apology?
First of all, he is not the first one in Likud to speak in this way. It was David Bitan this summer who said that there is definitely a big difference between Otef Aza and between Tel Aviv.
Otef Aza meaning the communities that surround the Gaza Strip.
Yes, exactly. So, what we take from this, it's the disrespect for human lives, which we didn't actually need Ksenia Svetlova to, come in the open and to say it, because we saw from the reactions of the IDF, basically from the political echelon that decided not to react to, 470 rockets. Are you serious, guys?
Eli?
Ms. Svetlova belongs to the opposition, and therefore she will behave as an oppositioner. You have to understand one thing.
Because Israeli citizens have relatives
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. What Hanegbi and Bitan have meant is to say that there is a difference economically if Tel Aviv is going to be completely shut down and the south. That was the first intention, and Ksenia Svetlova made it clear, I believe, and that's it.
Eli speaks on behalf of the coalition that will soon be in opposition. I'm looking forward to hear him next time in the studio, if you invite both of us.
Of course.
And he will attack the government anyway, in any way he can, because he will criticize us for neglecting the South and so on and so forth. So let's put things in the right way. Every rocket that which crosses the border, wherever it lands, hits the land of Israel, and it's an attack against Israel, and Israel has to respond. Never mind where it is. Tzachi made a terrible mistake this morning. And the reason and the best answer is that the Prime Minister invited immediately all the heads of the regional councils from the south to come to his office, and he meets them tonight in order to apologize.
There might be some that would argue, Nachman, that if you, the left, was in government and there were rockets being thrown over to Israel, you also, if rockets did not hit Tel Aviv or if they did not hit Jerusalem, let's put the political correctness aside a second, would not have reacted so severely.
Any attack on Israel is an attack on Israel. Doesn't matter where it takes place.
I want to know Jeremy weigh in.
Sure, I'd love to weigh on this. First of all, Nachman has a lot of optimism if he thinks that he's going to be in the coalition, but he's allowed to, and that's great. It's definitely a Jewish trait, and I appreciate that. But I have to correct you that Tzachi is now talking for the coalition in this regard. There is no difference between difference between Sderot and Tel Aviv or Eilat or Kiryat Shmona.
He's a minister in the Israeli government. What he said,
there are a lot of ministers.
The IDF reactions don't show that.
I'm very happy to go and point out here that what we do need is a new defense minister, and I think that defense minister.
Was Lieberman not a good defense minister?
Maybe we need a new prime minister.
I do not think that Avigdor Liberman was a good defense minister. I think the defense minister that we need right now is Naftali Bennett.
Jeremy, Lieberman signed off on tenders for 6,363 settlement homes, the most by any defense minister during such a time span.
When you're going ahead,
that's not good for you.
When you're judging a minister, especially over a number of years, and of course, Lieberman wasn't with us, as you remember, in the beginning of the coalition that we started on the 61 MKs, which we have now. Look, there are a lot of things. There's some stuff he did that was good. Overall, like I said, 48, not good. Avigdor, 48 hours.
Right.
I get the picture. He is just not our guy.
Remember that there is Netanyahu on top on Lieberman, and he's the one who takes the decision. So maybe we need a new prime minister. I definitely need.
Why did you stay in the coalition with Avigdor Liberman 48 hours? Tell me. Why? I mean, if it was so bad, and if you didn't carry out the government policies, you should leave the government right away.
We decided to let Avigdor have some time.
Try.
And
2.5 years?
Yvette,
more than 48 hours, isn't it?
Yvette promised us, if you remember, Yvette promised us after the 48-hour mark, he said, judge me by the end of my term. That's what he said in his first press conference after the 48 hours passed.
Let's let Eli judge him at the end. Let's let Eli judge him at the end of his term. Was he a good defense minister?
No, but reality is more complex than we think. I mean, one thing that I remember is not only Hania, is when he spoke about Egypt and Iran, and then he has responsibility as a defense minister, and therefore your declarations is irrelevant. As I told you, in the opposition, they can say whatever they want. They don't have the responsibility.
There is responsible side and irresponsible side in this studio. We are representing the irresponsible side, that we are looking for a war, we are working to cross the border, and you take the serious measures.
Let me ask you this,
Ksenia, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Naftali Bennett, the leader of the Jewish Home Party, a coalition member, who's now the education minister, wants to be the defense minister. Says if I don't get that portfolio, I will leave. Should he be the defense minister?
Well, first of all, we want the elections as soon as possible. Okay, this is first of all.
We're going to talk about that because I don't know why you want elections as soon as possible with your numbers.
But at least she agrees with Lieberman on something.
Second of all, I think that I'm wishing Naftali Bennett a lot of luck, and actually I'm hoping that he will be a minister of defense. You know why? Because he will eat his hat, exactly like Avigdor Liberman did.
Yes, really?
Because he doesn't have any strategy, not on Gaza, not on anything else, and he will be in the same situation.
Okay, I'll let you react to that, actually.
First of all, you have a headline. We have the Zionist Union MK endorsing Bennett for defense minister. So I want to thank you for that.
I want him to go for it. At least he will leave the education.
I know Naftali very well.
Ksenia's endorsement. I will be careful.
Yeah, be careful with that. Okay, let me finish up.
Look, I'll tell you, I know Naftali. I know him really well. He's a really good guy. I know as someone who's also down in protective edge, like most of the kids that were my age, or whether in reserves or in regular service, and that is the type of person that you want to see. I know this from my experience. This is the type of people that a majority of the coalition voters want to see as defense ministers.